Welcome!
Welcome to the Omniverse of Nick and the penultimate part to What If Cell Jr. Survived. Before we get into it, be sure to check out the Omniverse's homepage, where our channel mascot Omni will direct you to the Discord, both Google Docs, and everything else the Omniverse has to offer, along with smashing the like button, subscribing to the Omniverse of Nick, sharing the Omniverse around and turning on all Omniversal notifications, and commenting future requests and expectations in the comments section. With all that said, let's begin. We open up where we ended off last time, with the Great Priest getting word from Zeno to announce the Tournament of Power. So he goes across each universe, and it's set in motion. But who is going to take part in Universe 7? Well, Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Cell Jr., Piccolo, and then you would think, 17 and 18, along with Krillin, Roshi, and Tien, would fill our roster, right? But the whole idea of the universe being at stake builds the trauma of the Cell Jr. back into 17 and 18. And then 17 says he's been away from the island for too long. 18's all about the Zenny and all that. It's multitudes more reasons than in canon to not, have them in the tournament. So they're out. As for Krillin, Master Roshi, and Tien, Krillin's on the side of 18, and more or less for his own frickin', reasons, just wants to stay out of it. Roshi feels like he'd just be a weakness and would just get in the way, even with his skill set. Tien almost feels the same way, and more or less I don't think there'd be any other reasons besides that for him. So yeah, our team here is looking pretty freaking bleak, because we're missing 5 members. So how is that going to be fixed exactly because of 5 members? And who are they going to be, because who else really is there? Because you've put in other members that weren't originally put in there before, and parts of the story and everything. So how's it going to work this time? Well, Deborah, Supreme King, Demon King Deborah with the third eye, Frieza, who is still going to be in the tournament, and Cell. Now, wait, I bet you guys are probably like, okay, that solves 3 members, but you're still missing 2, and why the 3 of them? Why Cell? Why Frieza, even if he was in the canon Tournament of Power, which he can be here too, and why Cell and Deborah? I mean, Deborah makes sense, but why Cell? Just why those guys? Well, it's the Cell Jr.'s idea to bring back his father. Now, everybody thinks Cell Jr.'s finally going to revolt against them, but Cell Jr. says he figured that they would feel this way, and he proceeds to start explaining. Now, he could already tell from the DNA that he has from Goku that Goku would have probably recommended a similar idea to this already. So, he took the opportunity to do it himself. Plus, he feels his father will be a massive help for them if he can get to train with his father before the tournament's date. As for Frieza, he knows he's way more than strong enough to be a potent ally, no matter how evil he is. Although he's far more evil than his father, who he can tame. But Frieza, they'll have to put him in check a lot more carefully. As for Deborah, he's set in stone for being an ally, and he already has teamed up with them before against Goma and against Majin Buu. So he has no doubt he'll be able to team and very much so defend himself with that third eye of his, and he's probably definitely gotten stronger. So this fills up 3 members and puts them in a much less precarious situation. Then they just got to figure out the last 2, train up his father, and figure out the deal with Deborah and Frieza. And they're all set. So Frieza and Cell are brought by Baba and instantly counteract with each other. But Cell forgets about Frieza for a second, and he knows why he's here. And he stares over at an adult Cell Jr., one of his sons, survived. And he gets to talking with his son. And the two of them discuss everything that has happened since Cell's death, how the Cell Jr. managed to survive. Then the Cell Jr. realizes that his father has gotten stronger than he was the last time that he saw him. And Cell realizes the Cell Jr.'s a good guy now, but not all of him is truly mad about it, because, Cell wasn't exactly like heartless like Frieza. He was a pretty much neutral villain, but he wasn't like a psychotic villain like Frieza. So he'd be neutral about this. And then him and Frieza start talking, and then actually think about a team up now that they're back in the world of the living. But Vegeta reminds them that they both still have halos, and they could be sent back to Otherworld with the flick of a switch. And he's getting very angry and just wants to just completely vaporize them. Goku says, "You two were brought here for a purpose. You were brought to help us in tournament. It was the Cell Jr.'s idea to bring you back. And he says, not only will you two be valuable allies, especially with the Cell Jr.'s training, Cell, but we have an idea for a potential third member that wasn't Deborah. And you two might be just the thing that could help us get him in check." And they talk about Majin Buu, who is sleeping, the ninth guy. Frieza and Cell look. Frieza's like, "This before me is the creature Father told me to stay away from." And Cell's like, "This is that pink creature I've heard stories about." And the two of them just blast away at Buu, who regenerates and starts getting angry, awoken from his slumber. But once he hears about why this was and everything, he is more than happy to train to help. So we do get Slim Buu in the Tournament of Power. But Beerus is still angry because, by the way, Deborah comes to them off screen. So, yeah. And Beerus is still angry because they're still missing a member. And he tells them, "We wouldn't have any issue finding another guy if your foolish, idiotic, pathetic friends didn't bow out due to their sentimental and worthless human emotion, and if you Nimrods hadn't wiped out the Frieza Force." And then that gives Goku and Beerus an idea. They tell Frieza to go back to his army, only to go and find new recruits, because they know there has to be some strong warrior of Frieza's they don't know of yet. So Frieza, unfortunately, has to oblige by the rules so that he can come back to life in agreement with Goku to restore him and Cell. And with his mass army still around and searching, they come across Planet Vampa and Paragus and Broly. Frieza brings them aboard and sends them to where everybody else is. Once Paragus sees Vegeta, he instantly is about to tell Broly to attack, but Frieza prepares to launch a death beam if Paragus doesn't let Broly in this tournament, since he knows Broly is way more potent of a candidate for the tournament than himself. And if he doesn't oblige, he'll kill him, then Broly, and then they can just forget about ever having freed him off the planet, since they'll be dead. And their universe is at stake, as well as his own well-being, points to his head also. So he really doesn't have a choice here. So Paragus unfortunately has to oblige and realize that, number one, it's Lord Frieza, number two, it's the universe at stake, his pride with Vegeta can wait, and his son might actually be able to do good in the tournament. Maybe kill Vegeta in the process? He's keeping his emotions hidden, more or less. So Broly, through a bit of training to at least get some of his rage down, which is already potent, along with Cell and any other preparations needed, our rosters set for the tournament. And the Tournament of Power, the Void, is set in motion. Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Cell Jr., Cell, Deborah, Supreme Demon King Deborah with the third eye, Broly, Frieza, Slim Buu, and Piccolo are all set for the Tournament of Power. How will this team fare in the tournament? Will it be overkill? Will it be more of a problem? And how will the aftermath and the true ending next time on the finale to the story pan out and cap off Cell Jr.'s survival?
Now get out!
What?
Get out! Everybody get out!